And welcome to another edition of Sports Edition from UpnLevel Productions. I'm here with my boys, Matt, Osiris, it's your boy Fabito. Where everything is coming in hot like a torpedo bat from the Yankees. So let's get this started with the association. On Sunday, Detroit and Minnesota went at each other. 7 players getting ejected. Multiple players are suspended for 1 game, except for Isaiah Stewart, gets suspended for 2 games. This book did bring out some speculation and reminiscence of the old school, the old Bad Boy Pistons. Are we going to see another team like that?
You won't see one like it. You won't see another team, but you may see one like it. You won't never see another Bad Boys Pistons, obviously, right? But you definitely could see just another one just like it. I think this new Detroit Pistons definitely has the attitude, simply because they just have the history. Not only know the history, like this, the overall culture of what is Detroit. Like, you have the potential to see a resurgence of that team, and the Pistons never really lost their identity as a gritty.
Yes, he did. Well, before this team?
No, I mean, like, as a gritty team, a gritty city, a gritty, like, you know what I'm saying? Like, I mean, you're sure they've lost a couple years where they did absolutely nothing, but like they never, like, no one's ever thought of like the Detroit Pistons have never, you know what I'm saying? Like, maybe, but when they are winning again, you immediately think of the Bad Boy Pistons. The minute they start winning, it's immediately the Bad Boy Pistons are back. It's like immediately now the Pistons are back, it's Bad Boy Pistons. So, go ahead, take your take.
Well, my history, real quick, before I get to my take. The Pistons, besides this last 2 years, they were trash, bro. Okay. I mean, if you ask me if I wanted to sign a contract between the Wizards and the Pistons, I still would have went to Detroit because I was not going to go to Washington. But no, they was not the
obviously not
nowhere near close to that Bad Boys team.
Obviously not, but now they're winning, and it's immediately the Bad Boy Pistons.
Besides the winning, no, it's not the winning. Even though it's how they're winning. So yes, this team, even though they started doing this since last year, because it's been last year they've been doing it, but it is this year they're winning, so that's why it's more obvious. But I don't have a problem with it, because as long as one team is doing it in the whole NBA, I don't need 32 teams being bullies. I just think that it is Detroit. It has to be Detroit, because it does go with that history of the organization. But for the last 10 years, they didn't even have that grit. That's why we're glad to see it back, because it wasn't like that for a very long time. So I don't have a problem with it as long as it's just a Detroit team doing it. I don't need any 30 other teams doing it. So, and it's cool for the NBA, because we like that little 90s.
I mean, we got the potential. We got the potential for a Knicks Pistons first round match.
Oh, that's gonna be great.
Yeah.
Oh, I think that's gonna be real physical. I think we brought that up on the Oak Show like last week, right? We said that
it's gonna go down to the wire. Probably, hopefully 7 games.
I'm actually like hoping to see a Detroit.
Hopefully, Jalen Brunson can come back.
Some people are still picking the Knicks. I mean, I'm over here. I'm kind of stuck.
I'm sorry.
I'm just rooting for them.
Yeah.
I mean, it's the Knicks. I mean, the Knicks have that history.
I want the Knicks to pull out, but it wouldn't surprise me.
No, I wouldn't surprise me.
Detroit.
Hopefully, Jalen Brunson can come back and they can play fully healthy.
They're playing under the coach of the year, I think.
Yeah.
But that first round matchup is going to be great if that happens. So can't wait.
So out of all the teams in the playoffs, who has the most to lose?
Boston.
I agree, Boston. I think Boston just won. You're the defending champions, and let's say the 2 top teams. Well, it's not Boston Celtics, but let's say the Boston Celtics got to the NBA Finals and they played OKC or whatever like that. Let's hype man said
the 2 top teams.
Right, they're the best. They'll be the better.
As
team.
Good as ESGA, as good as the Oklahoma City Thunder are this year, I just think that Boston's still better. You know what I'm saying? Because even Tatum sitting down one game because he had that quick one, they still won.
Yeah.
And then what's the name came off the bench and dropped like 30.
It was like Pritchard?
Why? You know what I'm saying? So I guess it's the system they play.
Yeah. I think that was game.
Like we did say last week, there was like they died by their double edged sword where they shoot 23.
That is true, yeah.
But the majority of times they dropping them or they missing it.
Yeah.
But still they can miss one it. But
and then I think
but that to me makes them a better team. So that's why I think there's more of, if they lose, doesn't matter which round they lose. If they lose any round, it's a detrimental to them more than any other team in the playoffs.
Yeah, I agree. They are the defending champions at the end of the day. Point blank period.
All right. So moving on to baseball. What a wonderful, wonderful weekend for us Yankee fans. The Yankees are using a brand new torpedo bat, kind of created. There were some of the players were using it last year. Created by a former MIT educated physics professor, Aaron Lenhart. Yankees cranked out 15 home runs with 5 of the players using those torpedo bats. What's your opinion about these bats?
as somebody who is now getting into baseball, somebody who's grew up on basketball, fast action football, have action happening. Fast action baseball, count me in. I'll sit down for hours and I'll watch the Yankees hit a billion. I don't care. You know what I'm saying? Like, I just want to see hits. As somebody who's new coming into baseball, I don't want to sit down there and watch 1-2, we out, 1-2, we're out, 1-2, we're out, 1-2, we're out, and now it's the third inning or whatever the hell it is. It's, you know what I'm saying? I like it. I did go check in to see that Yankee game, and that was exciting to watch for a couple minutes. Like, that was crazy to see when they were going on that quick. I was like, whoa, like, that's fun. So I hope they, as most people, I hope more teams do, let a couple players get that bat. And
I thought baseball in general since opening day has been great overall. Not just the Yankees, but because being a Yankee fan. But to talk about baseball, I think besides the new Torpedo Bats, that now every other organization see that like, oh, they put an order first, so that everybody's gonna start. I'm saying everybody, but teams are gonna start using it. I thought that was awesome. I think the Dodgers coming out with their trophy and Ice Cube coming out. I thought that was a great presentation. I asked Thurman that I saw the Dodgers wearing their gold. Their logo was in gold. I was like, is that something they're going to wear for the remainder of the season? Because to be honest, I think they should, because that signifies that you are the champions.
Right.
And until somebody knocks you off,
right.
where your home and your away jersey should be in gold. Just their name. I thought that was dope. So overall, I mean, let's see. Yeah, it's been exciting. I was just saying, I might have to upgrade my Yes channel, but the problem is that I'm only going to be allowed to see Yankee games, because now that they're not on ESPN anymore, and now you're getting this hype. So they're kind of like you're getting all this hype, but yet you're not on ESPN.
I'm not sure. I feel like I heard something about a Comcast deal being done where, like, with the Yes or something organization, where they now are being able to keep their Yankee games, if I'm not mistaken.
Well, the Yes Network is different than ESPN. But I'm just saying, as far as now, we don't have the availability to see other games. Because ESPN used to play, like, we was able to see Atlanta Braves games, St. Louis Cardinal games. We now always have to watch the Yankees or the Mets. So now it's like we kind of have no choice. Only watch other teams play, but only when they play the Yankees or the Mets.
Well, that brings to my other question. The Major League Baseball and ESPN, they have mutually agreed to depart after this season, I guess.
So we will get baseball. We will get some baseball this ESPN.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. All right. I didn't see.
So that's what made me confused, because I was like, wait, didn't you guys?
I just thought that was over.
And it's at the end of the year, I'm assuming.
Oh, okay.
So, but then the surge of offense comes. Yesterday's price ain't today's price. So I could imagine MLB is going to definitely allow the Torpedo Bats to kick in, because they're definitely going to want to see the offense. Pitching has had so much advantage over the past 10, 15 years with the pitching and the technology. And these guys going into a pitching camp to learn a new pitch. Like, it's all been favored to the pitchers. Now he actually gets to the offense. Chicks dig their long ball, guys. And
I did say a while ago, I said, if there's one thing that has to change, it is offense. I said, you have to figure out how to score more runs. And if these bats is an answer, then I don't have a problem with it. I'm all for it, because...
So we get the surge of these offense. Would ESPN be regretting backing out of this deal? And then would they try to make a new deal? And then I don't
think they're going to regret. I mean, that's all you can do. Because before these torpedoes, let's say, for example, if this didn't come about, like they didn't have new bats, baseball kind of been almost the same thing. You know what I'm saying? So I just think that now that this is going on, like, okay, we're going to see more runs now. Let's see now. We don't know how much of it. We see how much of an impact happened on the weekend. Let's see what happens in 6 months. You know what I'm saying? When we get more data. And if we show that it shows more offense, then I can see ESPN turn around and be like, hey, I don't think it's not about regret, because you guys did suck before this. Hey, but you guys are good now. Would you want to be on TV now? So money talks.
All right, so moving on, we got it's time for trivia time.
Oh, this weekend I didn't work on my what's the name? My slogan, but this says NBA trivia time, ladies and gentlemen. So this is what I'm gonna ask: three tough questions. Nah, not dance today. I didn't even think of it. That's why I was like, with so much going on this week, and then today dealing with car battery dead. But other than that, yeah, I was like, I didn't work on it. I didn't think of one. But let me just dive right into it. So question number one, guys. It's going to be some 3 tough ones. So question number one, I think you guys know the answer to this. Which team had the longest losing streak in NBA history?
Detroit Pistons.
You said the Detroit Pistons? The answer is wrong. Because you thinking of the Detroit Pistons when they were losing all these games, right? But the answer is wrong. That's what I was telling you, no. But I know it's not the Pistons.
The Washington Wizards.
It's not the Washington Wizards. As bad as you think the Wizards were.
Charlotte Hornets.
Nope.
No.
I know you guys are picking bad teams, but I thought the answer would be obvious.
Cleveland Cavaliers.
Nope. And you know what's funny? It is supposed to be a 3 multiple choice question, and they're on the list. But I was like, I'm not giving them 3 answers. I was like, they got to guess this one.
Chicago Bulls.
No.
I thought it was one of those twists and turns.
Bulls had Zach LaVine and all these teams. And the world.
Oh, so this is a recent.
I mean,
Sacramento?
No, it's not even. This is I say losing streak, not drought as far as winning a title.
No, I
from
get
last
it.
week. Let me know. This is too tough. I thought this would be easy. I can give you a hint. I can give you I'm surprised because motherfuckers. Excuse me, watch my language. One of them is already off the team. This guy, they shut him down. No, the Heat's been winning. Say losing streak.
New Orleans.
No. I think I kind of like gave it to you. I just saying it. One is off the team now.
76ers.
It's the 76ers. The process. They purposely lost 28 games.
Oh, yeah.
Which is the longest.
I feel like this year Detroit came really
well, that's what I said. One is off the team now, and the other one they just shut them down. I was like, I just said that. Like, it's the Sixers. Yeah, they had a 28 game losing streak. Remember, they purposely the process.
Yeah.
Remember?
Just the process.
Just the process. I was ready to get to think of that. That's when you said Pistons. I was like, okay, you got an idea, but what is it? All right, guys. Number 2 is, who is this NBA player? I think this is going to be a good one. I'm going to start adding these because there was another one I saw, but I was like, I'm going to just use the first one to see how these guys think. All right. I think it's easy. Drafted to the Mavs, traded to the Suns, traded to the Nets, traded back to the Mavs, and he finished his career as a Knick. Who is that NBA player?
Jason Kidd.
Yeah.
Jason Kidd is the answer. That's what I said. I think out of all the 3 questions, I think number 2 was going to. So number 2 is, who is this NBA player drafted by the Mavs, traded to the Suns, traded to the Nets, traded back to the Mavs, but finished his career as a Knick? Jason Kidd.
You know why we would give it away? You used to know the Mavs. You used to say you won a champion with the Mavs. Like, that's that year.
Nah, that's why it was not. That's what.
You didn't win that shit year?
Well, I'm pretty sure he did. When Dirk Nowitzki, right?
Yeah.
But
Okay.
that's why I was like, I'm going to say no. Yeah, draft, trade.
Yeah. But if you would have said championship with the Mavs, that would have been a real confirmation.
There's another one I saw.
Like, finish with the Knicks. I was like, oh yeah.
There's another one I saw, and I was like, oh, I'm going to start using these.
You said finish with the Knicks. I was asking.
All right. So number 3 is name the 2 teams in the 2005 NBA Finals. Woo!
Now, right. Here goes.
Let's see how much weed y'all be smoking.
Let me tell you my thought process initially, right? This right here, for some strange reason, I know the 06 and I know the 04, but I don't know the 05.
We'll say it out loud because that might help Thurman. So who's the 06?
Miami
and the Mavs.
And the Mavs won that one, right?
2006.
Yeah.
Wade.
That was the way. Okay. So
right?
I was saying that was
2005.
2005.
That's right, if I'm not mistaken. So
right.
in my mind, because I don't know and nobody talking about it, I'm thinking it has to be from the West. Has to be Spurs.
And the reason why I picked this is because it's like, I was like, out of all the teams I saw, it's like these two.
The West team has to be Spurs. It has to be Tim Duncan because nobody ever talks about Tim Duncan winning shit. It had to be. But I do not know the Eastern Conference.
I'm not going to confirm the answer so you know the other team, but
so
let me know.
I don't know the Eastern Conference team.
But let me know.
I feel like there was 1 year. We talk about the Pistons, right?
Knicks went to the finals in 2005.
I don't know.
That's what I'm saying. So Knicks went to the finals in 2005.
Talking about the Pistons, he's right. But there was a year in which the Pistons were good, but they had Billups, if I'm not mistaken.
That was 2008.
No, it was not because who won in 08? The Celtics won in 08. That was Eastern Conference team. It was in 07. Who the fuck was 07? It was Braun and the Spurs in 07. Braun lost. Got swept. Right? So Spurs again. Spurs. I think that was their. Now, if I'm not mistaken, that Tim Duncan thing.
Locking the 2 answers.
3rd championship. So in my mind, it has to be that year niggas talking about Chauncey Billups and them. And he was on the Pistons.
Why can't that answer?
So it has to be the year that nobody fucking remembers it because it's the two teams that nobody ever fucking talks about, the Pistons and the fucking Spurs, but no one ever talks about Tim Duncan winning. And Tim Duncan won that year. I feel like it's, if you tell me it's the league, I'm gonna be pissed. But I feel like it's Tim Duncan in 05 because no one ever talks about Tim Duncan winning shit. I don't know anything.
I'm gonna stick with them too.
Spurs and Pistons.
Yeah.
Spurs and Pistons. Like,
Right,
that's
Right, that's what I'm saying. In my head, it's like it has to be Tim Duncan. And no one ever talks about Tim. I don't even know that
you said the Lakers. I remember you said this is when you said the Lakers. I said, remember, I just said it has to be two teams that's like out of the ordinary. Lakers is too obvious.
Yeah, no, Lakers.
That's what I was like, nah, I'm not.
Head, you know, the other one. Other one I was thinking. I don't know why I was thinking the Nets.
The Nets is 2001.
Right, that's in my head. I was like, it was not the Nets,
yeah.
but I know the Nets had won it. We went there 1 year.
They went. Didn't they go back to back? No.
In my head, I knew it was the Spurs. I'm like 2005 seems like a good year. Tim Duncan won for some strange reason because I don't know who else won in 05. But it's like it's got to be Tim Duncan because the niggas never talk about Tim Duncan.
It was the Spurs.
That was my only reason. The niggas never talk about Tim Duncan like he's not a 5-time champion.
It was
like that. Like I'm like.
It was the Spurs and the Pistons.
Yeah, I'm like, we always do.
I was on going to NBA Finals list, and I was going backwards, and I was like, too obvious. And I saw this one, I was like, they're not gonna get this one, but he got it. Yeah, I'm gonna have to like mark down because you can't like. He won last week though. We won around last week, but this week you guys went back and forth. Yeah, he killing it. So, but that's my NBA trivia, guys. So.
Those were some.
Those are good ones?
Yeah, those
are
good ones. Yeah, that was a good one.
Yeah, because last week you was kind of like, I'm not doing it.
That one with the team.
So I was like, you know what?
Like, you could have said which superstar I feel like would have been the rest.
But you know what? I was still right because but LeBron was on the list. Can't say team. Can't say team when LeBron was on different teams.
Yeah, that's true. But I was like, which superstar would have been like, all right, cool. So that's what I said.
That's what I said. Which star? But
so what do you guys think? Write down in the comments below. Like, comment, subscribe. Hit that notification bell so you know when's the next video coming up. All right, now moving on to our quick hits. We kind of alluded to it earlier, Cyrus, but what's our takeaway from the first weekend of baseball?
Thumbs up.
Keep the energy up. Keep the energy up and double it.
Yep. Yeah.
There we go.
Keep hitting it. Chicks love the digging. Aaron Rodgers still hasn't made up his mind to sign with the Steelers. However, did have a throw and catch session with wide receiver DK Metcalf, who just signed with the Steelers. Is Rodgers gaslighting all of us, or is just he's really gonna call it quits?
No, he's a Steeler.
He's still gaslighting.
I think we only agree because we don't think DK is the type of person to really mess around and like just move the Aaron Rodgers for like why would DK mess around? The way Aaron Rodgers
remember, he's a wide receiver. Wide receivers are divas.
True, but it's like
so is Rodgers.
So yeah.
And the way Rodgers went out in New York is why I think he's going to play with the Steelers because he's the type of person who's like, I'm not going to go out like this. I want to go out better. So he's
a team like the Steelers. You know what I'm saying?
Too much is Pistons talk today.
Too much of that area.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
But yeah, he's a Steeler.
All right. Zion Williamson is shut down for the season. KD is shut down for the season.
Maybe. Is he?
Just say what? 7 games left.
Yeah, they ain't.
Well, yeah, they're out of it. Zion. Let's start with Zion. What do you make of his career? Because I'm leaning towards bust, but
bust as what though?
Like so much
overall, or
yeah. I mean, you wasted what? It was a first overall pick, right? For Zion, right? Yeah, to me, I felt like it was a waste.
I feel like,
and that was a good draft, if I'm not mistaken.
I feel like there's an issue with Zion's conditioning. There's an issue with his, I don't know, his approach to the game. Maybe his love for it. I don't know. But I do feel like Zion, as an injury, maybe is a bust. And he might just be a bust for the Pelicans. Because I feel like we leaving you, we're gonna go trade you, get you a haul, and somehow, some way, he ends up on the Knicks, and all of a sudden Zion is like,
nah, he can't get a haul because he only
not get a haul, but let's
play 19 games.
Let's play around. Let's play around and say Zion ends up on a team bigger market, and all of a sudden Zion is Zion.
For him personally to get his money, I think personally, I think it's more of a mental thing. When I mean mental, not meaning like he doesn't know how to play basketball because the talent's still there. The availability is what makes him a bust. But I also think that he's purposely unavailable because he don't want to play with the Pelicans. I just think that he's just trying to force his way out, and this is his best way to do it. And because every player has figure out a way to force their way out. Look at James Harden. He showed up in I don't know if he was fat or he showed up in a fat suit.
He's in that.
Either way, he purposely did something to get out. So when Zion doing it, I don't have a problem with it. If he ends up with the Knicks, yo, I bet you'll be available all the time. So and you'll see that talent. And you're going to see that talent.
Where it's bust is really funny because it may have been for the Detroit for the New Orleans Pelicans, maybe, right? What if, they did take him at first round, expecting him to be something crazy.
What if he ends up with that Houston team?
Right, but what if he ends up exactly? And all of a sudden, Zion no longer weighs 290. He's like 245 lean.
What if
he's running down the court, dunking crazy? Like, is he a bust? Because that looks like a first draft pick to me.
Yeah. What if he ends up with Detroit? I mean, you put him on one of those teams, bro.
And he is not looking like a bust anymore. That's why I'm like,
he ain't a bust as far as talent.
Maybe as far as talent, no. Maybe the Detroit Pistons, but he could end up on another team and be a superstar. That's not crazy.
If you pick the Pelicans at 2K and you turn off injuries, he's on the roster, and you will bust ass. Well, besides I'm the 2K, but last year, he did give the Lakers a scare. But the only reason why the Lakers won is because he went down with pulled a groin or hamstring. So, but if it wasn't for that. The Pelicans and Zion was busting them. Yeah. So that's the only reason why the Lakers won. So Zion is not a bust. He just needs motivation.
All right, well, Suns, KD. Who had the more disappointing season? The KD's Phoenix Suns or Joel Embiid's 76ers?
Who do we really think was going to go far? Even, let's say
the Suns.
Right, because do we really think the Philadelphia 76ers, even if they were with Joel Embiid, was going to go anywhere?
Well, we've seen it.
Did you see that?
We've seen him limp in the playoff last year and bust ass.
What did you really expect from the 76ers other than what they did last year? You know what I'm saying? You weren't really expecting them to go further than maybe a second round last year.
I know.
But you were expecting the 70th of the. You were expecting the Phoenix Suns to do something. To not do this. You were not expecting them to do this. And that's why I feel like it's the Phoenix Suns. Because you didn't really have, as much as Philadelphia probably would have been even if they had Joel Embiid. You didn't expect them to go anywhere, but probably the second.
You have one of my favorite basketball players of all time on the Suns with BU and Devin Booker. And you're fighting for a play-in?
Nah, they're not. They're fighting
that's
even reach it.
They're fighting for a play-in, not a play-off. They're fighting to get to the play-in. That's what I'm saying. That's a bigger disappointment.
They're trying to fight to get to the door.
Well, it's just to experiment didn't work. It is what it is.
Yeah, I think it was bad when they moved Bill to Phoenix.
Hell yeah, and they're a better team without Bill on the floor. So it's whatever. It just didn't work out. It's more to me. It was more the owner.
But I think it's the 76ers because it was all about the process. They added Paul that's multiple. I just think that Joel Embiid from the potential what he did last playoffs off of one leg.
Well, if you're going,
then he went to the Olympics.
But you're going to history. But you're going to history of the last I feel like 5 years. We're only talking about this season, so you want to talk about overall because it's not the Suns.
I feel sorry for Maxey. I thought Maxey.
Me too, but this is that Joel Embiid came in injured.
That was his history.
To me, I never thought, what was their third option? What's the name that barely shows up when he shows up whenever you feel like it? Yeah, Tobias Harris.
He's on my bad list, so
my God.
You don't got to tell me anything about
what Jimmy Butler says?
Oh, Tobias Harris over me?
I think that was their downfall, is when Jimmy Butler, as an organization, is when they picked Tobias Harris over Jimmy Butler.
Right. I ain't gonna lie, yeah.
But if you're talking about this season, it's the Suns.
Yeah, but I agree also.
Just this season. Yeah, if you're just talking this season.
So what do you guys think? Hit it us in the comment section. Like, comment, subscribe. You know the deal. You know the boogie. So before we go off, we're going to go into a quick little editorial. These guys don't know what we're going into or anything similar to that. So I want to play my own type of game with these guys. And I want them to be an NBA general manager. And your roster's pretty much filled.
Okay.
But I want you to take a NBA championship team of what year? Take out their number one star. And can you win with them? against each other's team.
Okay.
That's debated. So,
wow, so go on.
the
Well,
NBA championship
that's
team.
that's gonna be easy. You picking an East team?
I'm picking the West team.
Oh, that means I have to pick an East team because I had a West in mind.
I mean, it's just.
I was gonna pick my Lakers with Kobe, Shaq. You could pick either one. You got Shaq sit down and play Kobe, or Kobe sit down and play Shaq. But if I have to pick the East, then I'm picking your team.
You can stay the West.
I'm picking
So we realized that
I didn't like this Thunder, so I'm not picking that team because I didn't like that. That Heat team to me was not all that, even though it was a super team. But I didn't like this Thunder. So I'm going to have to pick from the East as you pick the West. I'm going to pick. I'm going to have to go recently. I just think that I'm going to have to go Boston. Doesn't matter if you choose Jaylen Brown or Jason Tatum to sit down. You choose. Okay. I'll take either one. I'll beat you with one standing up.
Where's your team?
The 2017 Golden State Warriors. They go Kevin Durant. I still got Steph Curry. I added KD to a 73-win team. I still got the 73-win team. You think of Jalen Hurts? You think of Jalen Brown? I'm still smoking. I'm smoking that. You know I'm smoking that. Anybody, you know I'm smoking that.
All right, so let's look at the matchups here. So we take out KD. We got at point guard. We have.
I got the number one.
I got Steph Curry.
I got
2017 Steph Curry. MVP.
I got the number one 3-point shooting team in the league, even with Jason Tatum or Jaylen Brown sitting down.
Two best 3-point shooters of all
I think.
Who's your point guard? Jason White, right?
No, Drew Holiday.
Okay, Drew Holiday. Shooting guard.
Klay
Thompson. Who's your shooting guard?
What's the name?
Derek White.
You know about the team better than I do, right? So with Jaylen Brown and Tatum, Porzingis. What's the name?
Take out one of your stars.
I don't know. Well, I'm just naming the team. What's the name of from Dominican? Al Horford. He's on the roster. Don't forget him.
Sam Pritchard.
What's the name? What's the name that was in the Olympics?
We're going by position right
now. I know.
So take out which one you taking out though? Brown or Tatum?
Damn. They both good. Because let me see. Brown won the MVP last year. I'm gonna take Tatum out just to make it fair for you. Just to make it fair for you.
So far in guards, I think you're up on guards. I think his is forwards. Small forward.
How about the wings? I don't lock down the wings. I got the wings of my wings is better than his wings.
That's true.
I got Derek White and I got Jaylen Brown on the wings against Klay Thompson. Who you got on the wing? Because it's not gonna be Draymond Green. He not your wingman. So unless it's Steph Curry, and then Draymond is your point forward. But I got two wings even with Tatum sitting out.
Oh yes, I come. They have to come off the bench, right? Oh, it got out.
That's what I'm saying.
I think I'll keep putting my feet out back up.
That's some good deep. All right, and centers. Porzingis versus.
I got my team in 7.
Who the fuck? Was it JaVale?
I'm giving y'all 3 games.
It was JaVale.
It was JaVale. Yeah, it was JaVale.
I'm giving y'all 3 games. At least I'm giving y'all 3. At least I'm giving y'all 3 games. I win it.
Against basically the 2016 Golden State Warriors.
Against last year's Boston team.
Pretty much, yeah.
Yeah. This Boston team is the number 1 shooting 3 team in the league. And they're the best team in the league.
With no Jason Tatum?
They were even busting teams without Jason Tatum. Their system is
2006-17 Golden State Warriors?
Yeah. No. I say we're going to 7.
You're not going.
I say we're going to 7.
So what do you guys think? The match is set. Write down in the comments.
You took Kevin Durant off. I'm good.
I got the 2016-15 Warriors.
I know. But my wings are better.
So like, comment, subscribe. So that's all we got for today's show. Let people know where they can find you.
Hypeman_V at Instagram, PSN, and TikTok.
The Black Obi-Wan on Twitter.
And Up and Level Productions, you know where to find us. Peace and stay up, guys. Yo, peace and blessings. Thank you for watching Up and Level. This is your boy Torpedo. If you like this show, you like the sports edition, like, comment, subscribe, get involved. Peace.